Okay, it's time to do our metatarsalgia case study here. We have a 50-year-old female who is 150 pounds. She works as a hairdresser and she walks for exercise. She has bilateral forefoot pain, which includes numbness and tingling, and she says she feels like she's walking on marbles when she walks. The pain is worse with walking or when she's standing for long periods, and of course, she has to do this as a hairdresser. She is tender on palpation over the third and fourth metatarsal heads, and also in the spaces between the second and third and between the third and fourth. Um, she has thinned fat pads under the metatarsal heads and high arches with a supinated gait pattern. Alright, so let's build an orthotic for this lady. So we need to put in an account number. This is the if you go to products, categories, customizer for orthotics, you can, from the front page, you can get to this page fairly easily. I'll just show you actually a direct link. This is the home page. If you go to mackenzieorthotics.net, you can use this link here. I may try to put one a little higher up on the page somewhere, but or even up here, but you can use this link to go directly to the orthotics builder, which is here. We need a account number. You can get one if you don't have one by filling out an application. And then we'll build this orthotic for metatarsalgia. Since she's a supinator with a high arched foot, I tend to go with a soft-shelled orthotic. You could use a regular shell here, and that's fine. It still works. It's a little bit less expensive, but I have found with my experience that the soft-shelled orthotics tend to work better with patients who have a high arch or a supinated foot type. It's a more rigid foot. It doesn't need the control of the polypropylene shell, and I just find they do better with a softer EVA shell, and that's what this shell is made of. So, top covers. She's a hairdresser. With this type of problem, you need a reasonable cushion. I will go with the puff top cover 1/8. Actually, let's go with a 1/16 puff top cover. It's a little thinner, will fit in shoes a little better. Puff is less expensive than neoprene. She's not a major athlete. She does walk. If she finds that she has any particular issues with burning sensations and stuff like that, then neoprene is a better option. But puff is a very good, durable, and cushion cover. Bottom covers for this case, if she's using shoes that they'll fit, we could do another 16th puff on the bottom. Vinyl's thinner, and as she's working as a hairdresser, we want her to use these for all of her activities, so we'll go with the thinner bottom cover. And I would actually suggest to do a full instead of a 4-foot cover on the bottom, just because with the soft shell it'll protect the shell, the bottom of the shell, a little better. With the polypropylene you don't need that type of protection. It'll just make it last a little longer. Metatarsal pads, both. She has metatarsalgia in both sides. We want to spread those metatarsal heads apart, spread the metatarsals. Heel pads, and for the rest of this, arch pads, heel stabilizers. Arch pads, you really want to be sure that they have an arch that's not going to get irritated by putting those in. If they have a really aggressively high arch and the arch of the orthotic that's already built into it is coming nowhere close to it, then it's a good idea to use an arch pad. But I don't use them very often because they can irritate things rather than help. So just because someone has a bit of a high arch doesn't necessarily mean you want to put an arch pad. 2 to 5 Morton's extensions. I would use the Morton's extension if she had a 4-foot valgus deformity. You can read about that below, down in this section. It talks about all of the different extensions and whatnot. But in this case, we see no 4-foot valgus on examination. Rear foot posting, none. 4-foot posting could also be used in the 4-foot valgus case, but if I can get away with a more 2 to 5 extension, I do that instead. Shoe size, we'll say she's 7.5. So there's an orthotic built for an average metatarsalgia patient